Hi guys, and welcome to Café Management System Developed using Pascal in Delphi. This tutorial is actually at the request of one of my viewers out there. So I'm going to demonstrate how this works, and let's click on reset. Would you like to reset? No. Yes, I do want to reset, and I'm going to just enter some value in there. Let's go for cakes there. So click on total. That's the total cost of the drink to the cost of cakes, service charge, tax paid, subtotal, and total. The next thing is we can click on receipt to get our receipt. The choice is yours if you want to exit. No, I don't want to exit. And if you dare click on yes, you do want to exit, you will actually exit the system. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to take you guys into Delphi development environment where we put one of these together. Okay, let's start a new project. Click on File, New. Select Windows, BCL application. Click on that. And there we go, guys. So let's change the width of this form. Okay, right here you can see the properties and of the form. So I'm going to come right down here. Let's look for height, and there we go. That's the height in there. I'm going to make that about 720, and let's look for the width, and let's come right down here. There we go. I'm going to make that about 1,800, 1,380, something like that. All right. So that one is sorted now. Okay, the next task is I'm going to come in here. You see where we have palette. That's where we get all our component from. I'm going to type in TP, and that will get me the panel. That's the panel I intend to use. Click on the panel and just draw it somewhere here. So that is my very first panel. Let's move it somewhere here. And I'm just going to copy that, Control C, or you can right click and let's just say Control C, copy and paste. There we go. That, and I'm also going to add another one here. Paste again. There. And now we add one right at the top. Let's copy this, Control C, and just paste that one up there. Move it up. There we go. And I will need to at the bottom. Copy, paste. Bring that right down. Right down here. We need one more. Copy and paste there. So I'm going to arrange them properly, and I'll get back to you guys shortly. Okay, the panels are all arranged. I'm going to run it, and let's see how that's going to look like. There we go. That is how it's looking. Let's drag this up here. There. Of course, we need to carry out some minor adjustment. In the first place, the form. Let's go to, I'm going to go straight to a line here. See, we have none in there. I'm going to change that to, let's take it right at the top, which means the form will be pegged right at the top. There we go. That's fine. Okay, the next thing is, you see this very one here. I'm going to change the data, the data in there. So come straight to the caption there, and I'm just going to change that to Café Management System. There we go. Of course, you guys cannot see it properly, so let's scroll right down to the fonts. See the font here, and let's change that to something readable. So I'm going to make that bold, and maybe let's try about 50 and see how that's going to look like. That is 50. That looks a little bit small. I'm going to see if I can increase it a little bit more. Look, it's 60 there. Okay, for now let's just set it for 60. Alright, the next thing I want to do now is, you see these ones, I'm going to get rid of the text content in there. So let's go to the caption, get rid of that. And the next one. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding some components. First of all, I need a checkbox. That is my palette in there. So you can always pick them up how you want. The choice is yours. Okay, just bring them how you want. So in here, let me search for, I don't need this one, so I can get rid of that for now. In here, I'm going to look for T checkbox. There we go. Click on T checkbox, drop it there. Now I need T editor. The T editor is like your text box. There we go. So that is fine. I also will need T rich text box here. TR rich text box. There we go. That is it. Bring that here. Then I also need buttons. T buttons. Bring that here, which we can always copy. And there. So all I then need to do is just to increase the size of everything. Let's increase the font size to about 20. Make this one 20. There we go. I think I should make that bold. 20 bold. There. Okay, before I go any further, I'm going to need a label. So T label. So grab a label and just paste that here. And that should be 20 as well. Fonts, make that 20. There. So let's copy this label. Or let's just go in there instead of, I'm going to type in cost of drinks and then copy it and just drag the one I've just copied, paste it underneath here, paste another copy of that, drag it here, and let's change the details of the one right underneath here to, I want to call that service charge, and this is going to be cost of cakes. There. And let's copy the editor there and just paste it right in here. I'm going to need 3 of those. Copy again, paste, and paste, and one more copy and paste it right there. Okay, so we have that sorted, and up here we're gonna need 8 of those. So let's adjust this properly, and I'm just gonna copy them. Just this. The interface development is kind of like time consuming. For those of you who know what you're doing, you can always speed it up. We have 2, and so on, and I'm also going to need another 8 on the other side. So select it all and paste. Alright, so I have that one sorted as well. So let's extend this a little bit, bring it down. The font size of this rich text box, I'm going to change that to, I'm going to go for about 18. Alright, let's leave that like that. Now let's come in here. You see this button? We need 4 of those. So copy that, paste it in there. We have 2, and we need 2 more. Copy and bring it down, paste there. And now finally we need 3 labels. So I'm going to copy this 1, 2, and 3. Copy those, paste those ones here. That's very good. I'm also going to need text box. Okay, let's copy these ones. Copy and paste that right here. Okay, change the data of these to, there's the caption, there we go. Change that to tax on orders, whatever. Alright, the next one is going to be subtotal. This one. And finally we have total. This is going to be known as txt tax. Let's look for the name, the variable name somewhere here. There we go, look at it. I'm going to, you can call it edt whatever. I'm just going to call it txt tax. Txt subtotal. And finally this one will be txt total. There we go. So let's do one thing. I'm just going to select it all and get rid of the text content we have in there. Get rid of that. Why these ones here? I want to select them all. Get rid of it, but instead of leaving it empty, I'm going to add 0 to it. Alright, this one's just type in 0. There we go, all done. And let's come right here. I'm going to get them centered, so let's look for a line. Get it centered. That's cool. That's brilliant. Let's do the same thing for this one. Get rid of the text content in here. I think it's right here, down there somewhere. Text. There. Looking good so far. Now let's work on this ones here. So right up there, this is going to be known as, let's start with latte, and I'm going to change the name of that to chk latte. Where's the variable name? Right down here. There we go. chk latte. This is going to be espresso. chk espresso. There. And the text content on it will be espresso. Where is it? Let's see the caption. There we go. Sticky shape. Now check out the text box there. I'm going to change that to txt espresso, and the other one will be txt. Where is n? There we go. txt espresso, and this one is going to be txt latte. So I guess you guys get the whole idea. I'm going to show you just one more, then I will speed up the whole process. Select the checkbox, come right down here where we have name, change that to chk. That would be iced latte. Okay, iced latte. Right, that's good. And the text content on it, that will be changed to, let's go to the caption and change that to, there we go, latte. The text box, we change the name of the text box to txt iced latte. I guess you guys get the whole idea. I'm now going to speed up the whole process and get back to you shortly. Okay, all done guys. Let me run it so that you see how it all looks like for now. There we go. There. But there's nothing happening. Look at that. Nothing is happening. So what I want to try and achieve is when I click on any of these checkbox, I would like it to get rid of whatever I have inside any of the text box, and I should be able to enter data onto the text box. But nothing is happening now. So let's do one thing. But before we go any further, there's something that is very important we ought to have done. I'm going to go to File. We need to save this project because it's now saved. Okay, so don't make that mistake. Make sure you save your project. So I'm just going to call it. So I'm going to save it right in here. Let's just call it Café System. There. And click on Save. And save the project as well. There we go. Now my system is all saved. Now, like I said earlier on, the very first thing I want to do is, when I click on this, I want it to actually delete the content I have in here. Then the set focus should be on it. But before we can achieve that, what I want to do first is I'm going to double click on the form. So with the form load, I want it to disable every single one of these text box. So double click on the form itself. That is the form load. So right in here, so let's start by saying txt, that is latte, the very first one, latte dot enable, that is going to be equals false. But this is how you enter the equals here, column equals false, and enter, end it with semicolon. If I run it now, you will see the very text box is already disabled. Look at it. I can do whatever I like with the other ones, but here I can't do that. Okay, so let's end it and repeat exactly the same thing. I'm going to copy this to speed up the whole system. Now the next one is that is express, so that should be an R here somewhere. Okay, that's fine then. Alright, the next one is going to be txt ice latte, there, and followed by txt veil, I think I'll call it veil coffee. There we go. So I'm going to speed that up and get back to you guys shortly. And there we go, guys. Those are the lines of code that would disable all of the text box, so you can't just start entering any value into it. Have a good look at it. Alright, let's run it now. Run. And there we go. Look at it. We cannot enter anything into them anymore. Alright, so what I want to try and achieve is with if I select any of these checkbox, I want to be able to enable this. So to do that, I'm going to come in here. You see design, click on design, then double click. Let's start with the latte as usual. So double click on the latte. The latte is for this very one, so double click on that. We're going to use an if statement. So using an if statement to determine what we want to do, I'm going to say if chk latte, this very one, if it's checked, I'm going to copy that, paste that here, dot checked. If that is true, so if that is true, we now want the system to do as follows. So we ask it to begin the rest process. Begin. What I want you to do for me would be as follows. So begin the following. First of all, there's no column in there. Let's take that off. So let it begin as follows. So this very one here will become true. So grab that. I want it enabled equals true. There we go. That's the first one taken care of. and I also want the mouse to actually set focus on it. Dot set focus. There we go. That is it right there. So that's taken care of. Now let's end this process here. So underneath here, just enter end. The next thing we want to do is use an else statement. Else if, okay, if this is false, copy all of that, paste that in here. If it's false, it's kind of like maybe similar to Visual Basic or any other program language, so you should be able to understand it easily. Then I want you to do as follows. This become false. Underneath here, begin that becomes false, and the text content on it, just change that to 0 there, and we just say end. So let's get rid of this, and that is it, done. So let's check it properly before we continue. Alright, so I think that will work, so I'm going to save. Let's run it, and there we go. Now if I check that, I should be able to enable this. There, look at that, but the text content in it is still there. I need to get rid of that. So let's do one thing. Grab this, paste that in here, and get rid of that. Okay, now that should work. Run. Looking good so far. Check. There we go. Then I can enter my own value in there. If I uncheck, there, check, uncheck, that is very good. So I'm going to copy this now. Let's copy every one of these and go to the next one. So have a good look at this. Now I'm just copying and pasting, then changing the names around. So I'm going to come into my design here, double click on Espresso, paste that in there, change the name to Espresso. Okay, the name of every component there. Instead of latte, that becomes Espresso, and this one as well. There we go, man. It is fine. So I believe I'm doing what you want, my friend. So run, and let's see how that's going to work as well. Espresso, there we go. Latte, uncheck, uncheck. That is fine. Look at these ones, nothing is happening yet. So let's copy and do one more before I will speed it up. Okay, as you can see, I'm just using exactly the same method. Now come right here to my design, double click on the next one, the ice latte, paste that in there and change that to ice latte. Oh, wrong spelling of latte, but that's okay. Copy and paste it right here. Paste. And so on. Oh, let's see, why am I having error? Okay, there's no L in that one, so that's fine. I only made a mistake from the other one. Alright. There, that is it. The ice latte is taken care of as well. Run. Let's see, it's coming up. There we go. Ice latte. Undo, undo, undo. I guess you get the whole idea, so I'm going to now speed that up and get back to you guys shortly. Okay, all done. I've finished taking care of the lines of code for every single checkbox. As you can see, there actually it's all the same lines of code. All I've just changed is the name of each object. That is it. That's all you need to do, just change the objects individually, the names. Okay, I'm now going to run it. So let's click on run. There we go. Looking good so far. And there. So decision time. Try that out. There. Look at that. And so on, guys. Now let's work on the exit and the reset. So I'm going to exit out. Let's go to design, and I'm going to double click on exit. Okay, right inside the exit procedural area, I'm going to use an if statement. If message box is actually called MessageDlg. I think that is what it's called. Uppercase I, no, it's L. MessageDlg. Okay, if you want to find out what that means, you can always do that. So I'm going to say confirm if you want to exit. Let's make sure there's a quote. It's in a quote here. Confirm if you there. Confirm if you want to exit. That's one of the first arguments. Okay, maybe I can just enter a question mark there. And the next argument that I'm going to enter will be the empty confirmation. So let's bring that down here and just enter empty confirmation. Alright, comma, then a square bracket, and this MBY, that will represent the first button that you will see on the message box. Then MB, no, close up that square bracket, comma, and I'm going to say the first argument, the very first one, is the 0. Okay, and that 0, which is this very one here, is going to be MB yes, this very one. Okay, MB yes right here. Then we will then say MB yes equals MR yes. Then okay, let's get rid of this, my then. That should be here. Then in that case, I would like it to begin. What do I want it to do? I just want the system to end. So underneath here, I'm going to then enter application dot terminate. You can use terminate, or you can just say from close, from one close, or just close. But I'm going to use terminate. In fact, I will demonstrate it all. There we go. Right. Let's see how that's going to work. I'm going to click on run. There's no error, so it should work fine. I'm going to try exit now. You see that? Confirm if you want to exit. No. Would you like to exit? Yes. You see how that works. Okay, that's application.terminate. Let's go for close. Okay, with the close there, and you see it should work exactly the same way. So I'm going to run that. and you see that. So the choice is yours, whichever you want to use. And there's another one which is form 1. Look at my form here, form 1 dot. Let's copy it this way, form 1 dot close. So the choice is yours, whichever you want to use. Okay, let's try that again. Look at that. That's fine. It's all working fine. So you can use these or either of those two that I've just shown you guys. Okay, the choice is yours. There. That's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, any of those works. Alright, so we've taken care of exit. Okay, as you guys can see, if you click on no, nothing happens. Okay, try that again. No, so you are still within the system. But if you click on yes, that's it, you get automatically exit out of the system. So let's go back to our design view now. Let's double click on reset. Okay, with the reset, guess what, you can always prompt the user as well to confirm if they want to reset the system or not. So I'm going to copy this. Okay, look at that. Or just before that, let's do one thing first before I copy that. So the reset, I'm going to say txt latte dot text equals clear. There. So let's repeat the same for the others. Copy that. txt espresso. There we go. Then txt iced latte. There. So I'm going to speed that up. And right there, guys. So those are the lines of code that will clear the or reset the components. So that's for the very first, and this is for the receipt, the rich text box. That is for the second one, the cake. This is for the drinks, the receipt, the cakes. There we go. And these are the text box and so on as well. So have a good look at them. And here, once you reset, all I've just done is enable that become false. Okay, there. Take it down, and here the checkbox. Let's set them all to default. Alright, so let's run it and see how that's gonna look like. There we go. See, I can just enter whatever I want in there. There, click on reset. See that? Now, if you look at the resets, the system did not prompt me to confirm if I want to reset or not. So I'm going to copy this. Remember my exits. Okay, I'm going to copy that, the lines of code for exit, and just paste it right here. There we go. So here it's just going to say confirm if you want to reset. So change that to reset the system. Okay, and right underneath here, let's end the whole process. We just put an end to it, just like we have up here now. Okay, an end. So I'll take it right down and end it there. Alright, so it's going to officially prompt me to confirm if I actually want to go ahead with the reset or not. So let's assume we have some data in here. click on reset. No, I don't want to reset. Yes, I do want to reset. Look at that. Okay, that's very good. Okay, now let's take care of the total before we take care of the reset. In the case of total, we're going to have to declare some variables. So right underneath here, say if you have a private variable, you can always declare them here, a public one. So I'm going to declare it inside the public. So all of my variable is going to be a lot of those. The first one is going to be latte. The next one is espresso. And let's say I latte, that's for the iced latte. And the veil, comma, let's say a coffee. Let's use uppercase for that. And I'm going to call this one Kappa. That would be for the cappuccino. Then iced cappuccino. And the data type that I'm going to use double. There we go. So that's the first lot of my variable. There's going to be a lot of those though. So I'm going to speed that up and get back to you guys shortly. There we go, guys. Those are the variables that I intend to use. In total, I have approximately 39 to 40 there. Okay, have a good look at it. Let me just, so that you guys can see it properly. There they are. There. Those are the variables that I intend to use. Okay. Now, let's go straight into the total. So I believe you guys can see it. There they are. Have a good look at it. Alright, let's go to design and scroll right down. Double click on total. So right inside the total here, the first thing I want to do is to assign some data for all of those variables that I declared. So let's say latte. Let's get it initialized. So latte, I'm going to say the price of that, let's say about 2.3. There. Then we say espresso. That is going to be equals. There. Iced latte. Let's say it's about £1.50. Okay. There. There's just one there. Okay, let's initialize the others and I'll get back to you shortly. Okay, all done. So here, let's just say we initialize cost of coffee. Now the other one, let's come down here and I'm just going to call that assign numeric value. So now assigning numeric value to text box. No, whatever we have inside the text box is assigned to the variable. So assign numeric value for cakes. Alright, now so the very first cake that I call latte underscore, no, that's the very first drink, coffee. So that is going to be convert to string, no, convert string to font, and the data that I'm converting is inside txt latte dot text. There. So the first one is taken care of, the second one, and so on. Let's go for the second one now. I'm going to copy this just to speed up the whole process. Paste and paste. So this is going to be espresso. I think I call it expression with an N. Now the next one is going to be, let's change this first to espresso, and this one, I'll take that off, and this one I'm going to call this ice latte. All I'm doing here, guys, is just initializing the variable using whatever data I have inside the text box. Okay, now finish initializing the variables. Okay, have a good look at them. The very first one that we initialized, the second one. Okay, and right underneath here, I'm now going to use those variables to carry out some calculations. So let's enter a comment in there and just say calculation, or calculates cost of items. Now the very first one is going to be the cost of drinks. Okay, the cost of drinks. I have a variable called the cost of drinks. Let's go right up here. Cost of drinks. There we go. Okay, I'm going to need the cost of drinks. This very one. There. Just copy that. Now, right underneath here, the cost of drinks equals, in a quotes, let's say latte, okay, latte underscore coffee multiplied by latte. So that should give me the very first one. But I want all of these inside. Okay, I need to add the other ones that I'll be able to add the cost of all the drinks into the text box that is called txt drink cost. Alright, so I might as well say plus. The next one is going to be espresso. Let's come down here and just say espresso, no, with an N actually. We'll multiply that by espresso. It's ES. Close that, and let's add another one. Iced latte. We multiply that by I latte. Close that. Alright, so that is taken care of. Now that's Ice latte. There is no space, there's no underline there. I think this is it. Grab that and use it to replace this. Okay, that's fine. So the next one is going to be the veil. Okay, so maybe I have to speed that up. Veil, multiply that, veil coffee, underscore veil coffee, this one. Paste it right there. All I'm doing now is multiplying this by this and storing the whole value in here. Okay, you can always bring them all on one line, but I just want you guys to be able to see it properly. That's why it's like this. Okay, so close that. Plus, let's see, where do we have? That's veil. Let's come down here. There's no uppercase. Oh no, this is wrong. Get rid of that. Okay, that's fine. Okay, the next one is going to be a coffee. Multiply that by African coffee, underscore coffee. There. Almost done. So let's just speed that up. It's exactly the same process anyway. That is it. All done. So every single thing here, I've multiplied these by these and so on, and then store it right in here. Okay, so that's for the drinks taken care of. We are here to take care of the coffee. So now let's grab this total. I'm going to store it inside the drinks. So this is where the drinks goes, right here. So what is it called? It's called txt drinks. So txt drinks, we can always copy that from here, the name. There we go, drink costs. So back inside total. So right underneath here, let's press enter. Paste that in there. Dot text, that is equals, taking all of this, that, but we have to convert it. But first thing first, I want to enter £sign there, plus, let's convert the float to string. So this is float, is now officially converted to string. There. So that takes care of that of drinks. Save that. We can even try it out. Okay. The same method is going to be used for the cakes. Here I have the drinks and that's the cakes. So for the drinks, let's select whatever in there. Let's go for Africa, America too, and click on total. There we go, look at that. So that's working. I'm going to repeat the same thing for the cakes. Then we'll work out something for the service charge. Reset, yes. Exit, yes. That is good. So let's speed up that of the cakes. Right here, guys, those are the lines of code for the cakes. I've initialized the cakes with the value or with the price. So you can change the price of the cakes to whatever the choice is yours. Let's make it a little bit realistic, so that's fine. And change this to about £3 plus. Okay, now depend on how many you want that goes in here, is now stored in here. Okay, and then the multiplication is here, and the whole total cost of everything is stored right inside the text box for the cakes. Okay, it's converted from float to a string. So let's run that. Let's see. That is for just the drinks. This is for cakes. There. And decision time. Let's click on total. There we go. Look at that. Okay, now let's work out these. So the service charge, and I'm just going to make that up. Okay guys, I've just made up my service charge. The cost of drinks is stored into drink service charge. Cost of cakes stored into cake service. Now service charge equals, I added both of them together, just divide by 100. So the service charge is not going to be that much. There, that is the service charge taken care of. There we go. Now to work out the total, no, let's go for the tax first. Cost of the cake plus the cost of the drink plus the cost of service charge. Then we multiply that by 2.3. Okay, depending on you, your tax rate might be lower or higher. And divide by 100, and it then stored inside the variable called tax. And here, service charge is stored in here into the text box of service charge. Okay, so we should have, let me put that here so that you guys won't get it mixed up. There we go. And that is for tax, and that of tax is stored right in here. Right there. Now for the subtotal, we then added the drinks, which is this one, the cakes, and the service charge. That gives us the subtotal. As for the total, we added all of these plus the tax, and that gives us total. So let's run that. But before then, let me show you guys the codes again. Take it from the top of the procedure. Cakes initialize, no, drinks initialize. And the cakes, value assigned from each of the text box, how many you want, then that is calculated in here and stored inside that of the drinks. And that is for the cakes. There we go. And service charge yet, tax here, and subtotal and total. Now let's run that. We are almost there now. Okay, select whatever. Click on total. There we go. Look at that. Now finally what is left is just to take care of this. Receipt. Exit. Click on that and double click on the receipt. So for the receipt, I'm going to first of all start by entering the name of the receipt, RT receipt dot text, that is equals the very first value is into, no, okay, let's just say, give it a title, Café Management System. There. So I'm going to say plus S break line break. S line break is called. So that means more or less like carriage return. Go to next line. So go to next line again. So let's just copy this, paste it in there. So give it me 2 space. Now the next one, I'm going to copy this. Copy that. Now the next one is going to be cost of drinks. The cost of drinks, let's say 1, 2, something like that, and paste. No, before I paste that, undo that, undo the cost of drinks. Then I'm going to have to enter txt. Let's say there should be a plus sign there. Txt drink cost dot text. There, paste that. So that takes care of the cost of drinks. Get rid of this, that's not needed there. Right, so we have the cost of drinks in place. Let's take care of, let me copy it like this. I'll just copy it all and I just change it around. Now the next one is going to be cost of cakes. Cost of cakes, and this one is going to be txt cakes cost. Yeah, that's easy. Now I'm going to go for service charge. Service charge, and this is going to be service charge as well. Copy that and just put it here. Txt service charge. Good. I think I need to do the tax and so on. Let's come down here. That will be for tax, subtotal, and total. So tax here, tax on order. So this is just going to be tax. There. That's easy. Then the next one here, let's call that subtotal. And this is going to be txt subtotal. Good. And here, finally, this is going to be total. And this is txt total. There. And that's all there is to it. So I'm going to just come right here. In the case of total, I don't need any space, so I'm just going to end it right there. There. Take that. Take the X off. Alright. So that is fine. Now I'm going to add a little bit of space. Yeah, something like that, so that I can fit it in properly in a decent way. Right. Okay. I may have to still amend it though. Alright, run. Let's see. Alright. Total. and receipt. Look at that, guys. And that's how you create your own cafe management system in Delphi. So with that, guys, I'm going to call it the end of this tutorial. Suppose you guys enjoy it, and especially the guy who made requests for it. I suppose you enjoy it. You all have a nice day, and bye for now.